Hello, it's Lauren again, and this time I will be doing a book review on Genevieve Petrio's book, Keep Your Ear on the Ball. This is a children's picture book about a third grade boy named Davy who is blind. Despite the fact that Davy cannot see, he is very independent and he likes to do everything on his own. Even though he is independent, he is surrounded by classmates that desire to assist him. This can be described when Peter and Davy meet for the first time. Davy did everything we did. When we read our books, he read his Braille books. When we wrote, he wrote on his Braille writer. He was a great listener and raised his hand a lot to answer questions. "I'm Peter," I said, lining up behind him for lunch. "Want to hold my hand on the way to the cafeteria?" "Thanks, but no thanks," he said. As we can see, Davy is very independent. He continues throughout the beginning of the book to do everything on his own and want to be his own person without the assistance of his peers. This desire for independence doesn't work out too well when he is invited to play kickball with the rest of his classmates. Davy struggles to know when to kick the ball and where to run and has a habit of running into other players. Thankfully, his peers don't give up on him by including Davy in their games, and together his peers brainstorm different ways to help Davy. "Wait a minute, guys," I said. "That's it. He doesn't want to do things for him. He wants to be able to do things for himself." "He can't see," Colin said. "How can he play kickball? How can he do anything?" "He hears and he feels," I said. "He does everything by sound and touch. I have an idea." Davy's peers find a way for him to be able to play kickball by blowing a whistle when the ball gets near to him and running towards his classmates' voices. His peer Peter and the rest of his classmates don't give up to him, and I enjoyed this book for that inclusion represented throughout the story and the optimism of such a kind group of students that appreciate Davy for who he is and don't give up. I believe it's too often where we read books or hear stories about children with disabilities being bullied, but not often enough that we see the friendships and bonds formed by students with and without disabilities. I believe the lesson of children building a community among those with disabilities is a great lesson for all children to have, and the illustrations in this book are very powerful as well, as they are done in beautiful watercolor, and they are also very multicultural, representing different groups, different abilities, different genders, and different races. The only caution I would have with this book is that it may seem too optimistic at times, that it might be difficult to find many children that would be so kind to a child. So as teachers, we would want to push for that optimism and that kindness throughout our community of a classroom, as well as I feel that I would caution the fact that Davy doesn't want help, and that some students might misunderstand that to mean that they shouldn't try to help others. So it's very important that we discuss that as we work into our classroom discussions as well. I recommend this book for an introduction of what it could be like to live blindly, and how your actions are perceived by others, and how important and meaningful it is to help other students out. Thank you.